Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Lance Velchek. I almost said my friend instead of my host, and then as soon as I'm like lost in thought of like, I don't know, like we always do this is like our same intro, and I don't know why my brain just had a total meltdown.
I have a weird last name, dude.
It wasn't your last name. It was me almost saying friend, where then I was stuck on that.
I was thinking actually the other day, do you remember like the one time when we first started doing this, we thought we'd switch off, and so I did one, and then I tried to mimic you and do your thing, and I just completely like bungled it.
Yeah,
I was like, hello, friend. I was like, oh, if this doesn't work, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so there we go.
We re-recorded immediately. That's so.
It doesn't work.
I did forget. Yeah, we were gonna like trade off, but then it just naturally, I just started taking. If you ever want to start one, you let me know.
I really don't like to because I feel there's like a method to that I think you have down better. I feel like I'd start to say, hey, how's it going, dude? Low energy, you know what I mean? Yeah, loves life.
To be fair, I do that once I get out of my pre-rehearsed spiel, because then it's, we need to talk about something that's not technically the movie, and I didn't technically prepare anything, so then it's, how you been doing? Something like that.
Yeah, I'm fine. You? Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, that's basic. That's the basic structure of how this works. But yeah, I actually wanted to make sure to call out, if anyone hasn't seen it, check out our David Lynch tribute episode. It's just a brief little segment from our monthly roundup from February, where we talked about how much David Lynch was just an important part of our lives in terms of his movies. And yeah, it was a nice little tribute. So we wanted to make sure to get it out from behind the Patreon paywall and have other people listen to it. Forgot to do a Instagram post on the day, but did it on the weekend after. So anyone,
he was in our hearts. We talked about it, and I actually started rewatching, because I know you just finished. I started rewatching Twin Peaks. I haven't seen it in a while. So yeah, I love when, I don't love it, but like I do love the idea that, when there's a change in life and somebody does move on, there's always that re-energizing of like passion. It's like, okay, let me go back and dig more. Let me like celebrate this man's life. So I'm doing my best.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this, if there's one positive to come out from his death, I'm really hoping that we get Wild at Heart on Criterion. Or
we should get all of them. I think they're going to 4K them all, right?
I mean, I would hope. I mean, I don't need a 4K for Inland Empire, I'll be honest. That DV looking film.
But I'm just saying, this will get people, like, the studios want to make money. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're vultures, so they're going to look at this and be like, oh, let's re-release things on a higher format and double dip.
It's frustrating though, because we don't get stuff when they're supposed to, like. So we've been bitching about Scream Factory and how they've kind of gone downhill, because most of what they've been doing, it's just been the stuff they've released over the last 5 years, but 4K upgrades, which I love 4K, but as someone that loved Scream Factory, I had most of the Blu-rays that they originally released, so I don't really want to then upgrade, especially with how expensive this hobby has gotten. Yet Shout Select, Wild at Heart, been out of print for 6 years at this point. It's like, hey, if you're gonna give anything to upgrade the 4K treatment, let's do some Wild at Heart. So I'm hoping it's on the horizon.
Because I on the Patreon episode, I talked about how that was like my one blind spot. That's for some reason the one Lynch I never saw, I never got into. And it like blew me away. And then I talked to you about it, and you saw it and blew you away. So I'm glad that we're both like newly converted into like Wild at Heart. And I think a lot of people are wrong. It's one of my favorite movies by him. 100%. Had a blast. So I want a physical copy. I need something. I want a good copy that I could put in my little video store in my closet.
Yeah, and Criterion would be preferred because, I mean, they do a great job. I just watched the Blue Velvet 4K. And it made me realize, I think that might be his most accessible film.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. I'd put Wild at Heart close to that, though, personally.
No, Wild at Heart goes fucking wacky. It goes very wacky.
It gets a little weird, but I mean, I how about this? Let me pitch this to you. Okay, so we'll put Wild at Heart. I'm going to put it close to Blue Velvet, right? Right? We'll put it close. Twin Peaks doesn't count as a TV show, and I would argue.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be there, especially The Return. No. Yeah, The Return, it gets into just the craziest.
So we got Mulholland Drive. I think that's not. I personally think that's a very inaccessible movie or unaccessible.
Never seen it.
Super, but it's like weird. It's weird. It's not. It's very. It's like the spiritual sequel to Lost Highway, and I love Lost Highway, but I think Lost Highway, Inland Empire. I think that's like the weird ass Lynch. I think like so much straight story is Wild at Heart, and Blue Velvet, and
don't you dare put Dune in there.
I was thinking, can I get away with Dune? Because Dune's weird, but I mean, Dune is technically. That's sci-fi.
Dune's straightforward enough where I would probably put it in the middle. It's in that transitional.
It's a weird sci-fi story, though, so it's like, it's confusing. It's not Lynch's fault. So I'm trying to think, is there one more David Lynch movie that is slightly straightforward?
I there's episodes of Twin Peaks where he's pretty straightforward.
Sure. But just movie wise, I'm sorry, come on, you got to agree with me. Maybe it's not as accessible as Blue Velvet, but I'd put Wild at Heart closer to Blue Velvet than I would Lost Highway.
Yeah, I guess I would agree.
I'll take that as a win. All right, cool. That's all I need.
And then like once we were going back to like Eraserhead and Elephant Man, it's like I don't think.
I guess Elephant Man would be close because that's just a story, but Eraserhead I'd put closer to.
Eraserhead is fucking nuts, yeah, and that's like the other end. But even Elephant Man, it's been a long time since I watched Elephant Man, so maybe it is more straightforward than I remember because I had the false memory of Blue Velvet being fucking insane, and watching it this time, I was like, oh. Yeah, I guess since I'm much more ingrained in the David Lynch stuff now than when I first watched this, I just kind of view it as par for the course. If anything, I didn't even look at the Dennis Hopper's Frank, all the stuff that he does I didn't view it as super weird like I did in the past. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, it happens.
That shows that we're maturing as people. But I mean, a 19-year-old Tyler and Lance would probably be like, what the fuck? Yeah. What's going on here?
In my head, though, most of the movie took place in Isabella Rossellini's apartment with Kyle MacLachlan in the closet and Frank just yelling obscenities. That's in my mind, that was the whole movie. So then it was interesting to see all the changes. And I mean, I love Laura Dern. I think she is just the best.
Fantastic actress for sure.
Yeah. But it's oddly enough, we are not starting a David Lynch extravaganza despite this intro. This is actually the beginning of our Stephen King extravaganza, part 1. We are doing 10 films, 5 films each. We have got 2 schlocky films, 1 underrated, 1 classic, and 1 wild card. So I had first choice. I chose a schlocky pick, and I chose 2004's Secret Window. Oh God, yeah. So let's talk about this film. So this is, as I said, from 2004, Secret Window, directed by David Koepp. Screenplay also by David Koepp, and of course based on a short story by Stephen King called Secret Window, Secret Garden. I think that would be fun. We'll say the actual title of the whatever the thing is based on. Most of them it's the same, but I'll still mention it. Then starring Johnny Depp, John Turturro, Maria Bello, Timothy C. Hutton, and Charles S. Dutton. So, I'm pretty sure you and I have a bit of a history with this. I think we went over it briefly at the end of our My Bloody Valentine episode. But what's your thoughts? Like, what's your experience with Secret Window?
So let me set this up. This came out in 2004. I think I was a senior in high school. I grew up with Johnny Depp. It's sad to see where he is now, but for most of my life, this guy was on top, especially in the culty movies that we talked about. I grew up with Who's Watching Gilbert Grape, Edward Scissorhands, Cry Baby, even as a kid, I watched I think Dead Man, that weird black and white one. One of my favorite movies from when I saw it in junior high, and it's still to this day I consider it a masterpiece, is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. So Johnny Depp was like a guarantee for the most part. And I remember when this came out, he had a couple iffy movies, but like, he was amazing in Once Upon a Time, Mexico. He was something else he was in right before that, but he had a little bit of a resurgence at this time. Like he's coming like more in the mainstream. And I was like, oh shit, he's doing Stephen King. Big Stephen King fan. I was Stephen King for like my little fourth grade school's pick a famous person.
Yeah,
it was like George Washington.
Yeah, you told this story on one of our past ones too.
So it's King's a big theme. So yeah, King at Johnny Depp. Senior high school. I remember. I'm pretty sure after school I drove I drove to school that year. Mm-hmm. Parked my car at Western Heights Theater. Saw it, and it is to this day the end of Johnny Depp. This is the beginning of the end for me. Like this is like from here on, he ruined his entire career. It kind of made me doubt Stephen King. And it might be the forefront, maybe my poster child of why I hate the 2000s. Because I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Stephen King, Johnny Depp, fucking, we're in. The guy that wrote Jurassic Park, baby, we're back. We're back. We were not back, dude. We were not back. We never even fucking got off the stoop. So, not a big fan. What about you?
I let's give some context to this.
No, please. That's what I'm saying. Tell me your story.
Johnny Depp was on the rise. I mean, he was obviously a big name from the 90s on. I mean, after 21 Jump Street, people knew who he was, but he just slowly started gaining this reputation. We had, Sleepy Hollow, Chocolat, which he got a bunch of awards praise for. Blow, which people love.
Blow was the one that was, I think, a couple years before Once Upon a Time.
And From Hell. And then he breaks out and breaks into the fucking stratosphere where this is him getting his buy island kind of money, where he stars as Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was pretty much like off to the races at that point. Like Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And then Secret Window. So like this was in the midst of his rocket ship up, because even after this, I mean, I'll mention King of the Hill. He is Yogi Victor in King of the Hill, but he would record that probably 2003. But then he had Finding Neverland, which also big praise and got a bunch of awards hype. And then it's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The man has had a very interesting career, I would say.
I feel like outside of King of the Hill, you just proved my point that this was the end. Finding Neverland, Liberty, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
You don't like Finding Neverland?
Nah, it was fucking boring.
Oh, Finding Neverland's great.
Sweeney Todd, Public Enemies. Dude, it literally killed him. It killed him. Look at this shit. Closest thing I could give you is maybe Rum Diaries, but man,
if anything, just looking at it though, it's just like that's always been his career. He makes like one good movie, and he makes a bunch of shit, and he makes a good movie, and then
this was the start of his mainstream career, and that's what fucking killed him, man. The Stratosphere, Stratosphere strangled him, killed him. Probably cocaine did as well. I'll be honest.
I mean, this was. I don't know. This was Depp. This was period of Depp I actually liked. I think it's like once we get into Rum Diary Depp, that's where he starts becoming a bit more of a insane alcoholic. But no, Secret Window. I actually saw this hilariously. Oh, this is a fun story to tell. So my stepmom she was a teacher, a high school teacher, and she had a student that really liked her. I would say he had a crush on her. And he worked at the local movie theater, and he gave her like 20 free movie passes one year. And of course, you know who got those? Me, which they don't do this anymore, at least not the theaters by me, but they used to restrict films. They would have this little, you look at it in the shopper's guide and there'd be a little asterisk next to the title. And that would mean that there's no passes. You can't do any free passes for. That's essentially because the movie studios wanted you to be paying for like opening weekends. I say all that to say that, so I spent my year of 2004 and I think 2003 watching movies in theaters slightly after they had already been out. But because of that, it was meaning I was seeing a lot of these movies I was seeing in theaters like by myself. So I remember seeing Secret Window in a theater by myself, like month and a half, probably 2 months after it came out. Because that was back in the day where, back in my day, I have to tell these youngins, movies would not just release and then be gone from theaters weeks or a month later and then on some kind of service. It's like, no, sometimes these movies would be in the theater for 4 months. And so you would just check it out.
Like almost a year, buddy. I mean, think about like the
second run.
Theaters. Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like fucking come on VHS.
Yeah,
I thought it would be like a year and 4 months. So it's like, yeah, you could chill and still see a movie. You could like be like, oh, I'll catch that in the summer and still catch it.
Yeah, which we got a little bit of that, I believe, when like Barbie and Oppenheimer came out. I think every time I went to the theater until like October, they were playing. It was something where it's like, even if it was just one screening, there was something available. So that was certainly more common. And I would say that at this period of time, I think my favorite movie was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. So I wouldn't say that I had the best of taste. Or no, it would have not been that. Yeah, it would have been Spider-Man because 2 hadn't come out by the time Secret Window. Because Secret Window was March, Spider-Man was May. Yes, because I'm weird. And it might have actually been July. May was Spider-Man 1, and then Spider-Man 2 was July, I think.
But Spider-Man 1 was 2002, am I correct?
Yes, May of 2002, and then 2004, then 2007. I was back when I actually knew release dates. But no, I enjoyed this movie. I got a kick out of it. This was back in the day where if you had a twist in your movie, I would just immediately, I would like it. I would like it more. I think Phone Booth with Colin Farrell even has a dumb twist. It's like, so I even liked that at the time. It's like literally all it needed was a dumb twist and I was on board. And this has one of the dumbest twists and it's fucking glorious. And yeah, let's talk about this.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Then let's get this right out in front because I think it's going to be sort of the backbone of my conversation here. I was pretty much the opposite, which is like I pretty much hate all twists except for like a few that I think were really clever. But I almost prefer it just to be what it is. Because I think of movies like this would be like, I don't know, Identity, Number 23. I mean, obviously a little later we get like the Machinist, stuff like that. But just to let you know, 9 times out of 10, if the character isn't real, I hate it. I had an issue with Mr. Robot, and I consider that a brilliant show, but like I didn't finish. Oh, you fucking kidding me? It's been like 10 years.
I just got the complete series. Did you just spoil something for Mr. Robot for me?
Well, no.
We need to move on quickly because I can forget this. I can get this out of my brain.
Fucking Jesus Christ! The point of what I'm saying is that I am we sit on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to twists. So when certain characters aren't real, I don't like that. And this movie is that fucking thing. And honestly, I think of Secret Window as like what the dark half would have been if it didn't just stick to what it needed to do and have the thing be real. And I looked into this book actually. It came out. I can't think of the short story collection because I thought it was newer. It actually it's the one that came out right after different seasons. So I think it was like the 80s. And in the book or the short story, Shooter becomes real, but eventually manifests itself into like a real entity. And I think that's stupid, but I would have preferred that more than what we got here. But then again, I think that's also called the dark half. So I'm just going to say that I'm I'm your Moriarty when it comes to twists. I almost always hate them. 9 times out of 10. Fight Club, I remember fucking like returning the DVD the same day I rented it. I made my fucking sister come with me and I fucking returned it. And then I bitched the guy at the counter about how fucking lame the movie was.
That
is who I am.
We're going to have such a weird David Fincher extravaganza because, like, I'm going to love every single one because, like, almost every Fincher movie is a 10 for me. And then it's just going to be you coming in and you're like, I don't like Brad Pitt, not real.
I fucking hate it so much. I'm going to save you the time. I love all Fincher but 2 movies. There's only 2 movies he's made that I hate. That's it. I think that's a pretty good
hate.
Wait, what are
Hate's a strong word.
Well, okay, how about dislike? You're right. Hate is a strong word. That's fair. But I sometimes throw it out just casually. I dislike 2 of his movies, and I think those are good odds, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, he's made like...
And... I mean...
I never...
Oh, you didn't see Mank?
I didn't see Mank.
It's pretty... It's just not a Fincher movie, as would be my main criticism.
It's just... It looks like it had the era and the style. It just doesn't seem like it'd be a story I'm into. I don't know.
Panic Room. Be good.
Panic Room is one of them, yes.
And I'm gonna get. I'm not looking at his filmography. I want to legit figure this out.
No, you named the other one. It's Fight Club and Panic Room.
Okay. I didn't realize Fight Club was in that. Okay, that makes sense. So you like
I literally
the game?
Returned the same day. I love the game. I fucking love the game. But that's one of those twists that like I could see people hating, but the movie's done so well that it's like, hey, if Sean Penn has to organize, you can throw enough a roof, then I got my own problems like that. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I have issues with it if I saw it now, but I loved it. And I'm also a big Michael Douglas guy.
Yeah.
It's like dark and mean shit. So either way, I'm just saying that like you've always been a twist guy and I'm the opposite. So it will be fun because I'm gonna spoil your fun a lot and just be cranky and a curmudgeon. So
I mean, I will say my mom is having a blast listening to this because she loves your twist and reveal nonsense.
I don't want a twist. I want just make the guy be real. But this movie doesn't work for me because, ironically, there's a David Kep. I don't know how to say this guy's last name. He's a great writer. So I'm assuming, oddly enough, speaking of Finch, I'm going to do a little side tangent. I thought of him because I feel like he directs this movie in a Fincher-esque camera style. Fincher has that kind of, I don't want to say floating camera, but the camera becomes almost like an entity. Yep. And there's a lot of that in this. And I was like, oh, he's aping off of Fincher. But I don't think he could direct actors because I swear to God, this is Depp's worst performance. Everybody in this sucks except for maybe, I don't know, Timothy Hutton. And I also think Timothy Hutton's just fucking playing Timothy Hutton. So, yeah. Continue. I feel like I'm just being a dick. You got to say some positive so I could.
Yeah, let's get into this film because I don't have the issue with Depp that you do. There's almost like a ASMR quality to his narration in this and how he speaks. It's not, I don't know. There's just something about his voice. I never really care. I'm never like, oh yeah, Johnny Depp's voice. I could want to listen to him do audiobooks, but Johnny Depp in Secret Window. It's like, yeah, I want to listen to this guy do audiobooks for some reason. It's very appealing to me. His voice just works. But I also want to say the opening shot is really, really cool. But I wish that they stayed on it the whole scene because the film starts out. It's a shot of Johnny Depp in his car. And he's waiting. You don't know why. But then there's this voiceover where he's like, turn around. Like it's this intense moment. You don't really know what it is. And then he like backs up. It stays in that same spot, same fixed spot. And it would have been brilliant if it did that the whole time. He backs up, goes out of frame, and then comes all the way and then like comes back. Like, because they follow him, but they don't follow him enough. It's almost like they had this idea of, okay, we're going to just follow him. But then they break it up because Kep doesn't understand how to go from point A to B, because obviously it would be much more difficult. Because like you said, he wants to do like a Fincher camera style, but he doesn't have the ability to, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree, because that's the first thing I thought of in the directing. I mean, I will say, though, I mean, though it doesn't nail it, like this is far more highbrow in terms of how it's shot. Like this is a very specific, it's a psychological thriller, but I'm saying like how it's shot is, I don't want to say Spielbergian, but there is that sort of high class style to this.
It's a studio movie. Very,
very studio, very polished, very nice, very pretty. Camera movements are complicated in terms of like, okay, the camera starts at the bottom, floats at the top, follows step down, goes through the mirror. So he is definitely trying. So I can't shit on him for that.
Yeah, the opening credit sequence. Yeah,
because I mean it's one take, but obviously you could tell where the breaks are. But I'll even give credit and say like it's pretty. It's a pretty looking style, and it is trying to make this schlocky story a little more classy. I mean, I read through some stuff how he like tried to ape off The Shining a lot as well. I'm like, it's like I could tell. I think Kubrick was probably rolling over in his grave. But the music's Philip Glass. Yeah, so it's like they definitely were trying. They definitely were trying. I will give them that.
It's funny though, because it's like because I really like the credit sequence mostly because it's funny because you're right, it is one take, but he does all these fades because they essentially didn't time it correctly. It like clearly took too long to be getting to the point, so they just do these fades, especially when it's going over the lake or the main spot where they're picking up time. But it's just,
I thought that was weird. Yeah, because it fades, but it's just fading like 50 feet ahead, as opposed to fading into like the window. I was like, why are you doing this?
Timing.
I thought the same thing. Like,
yeah, which apparently they really didn't want this to be over an hour and 35 minutes.
That was back in the day, dude. We were strict on that shit,
Super
a 3-hour movie or a 2-hour 45 movie was a big deal. Like that was like a Braveheart, Casino. Now it's like, I don't know, fucking a third Marvel movie. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So it's just, we live in a different time. Yeah.
I also like too the credits, because the camera's moving forward. The credits actually move forwards. They move like towards the camera and slightly down. So it almost feels like they're on the track that then the camera's pushing past. Well, I mean, it doesn't quite have that ability. It doesn't push because this is still 2004. So it's not pushing past it. They are still fading in and out. But it has that, again, it's all just satisfying. I'm gonna say a lot during this film of like, I just find certain things satisfying and totally acknowledge there's a reason. This is my schlocky pick. I didn't pick this because I think it's a good movie. I just get a lot of entertainment out of it, and I knew Lance really dislikes it, so I know we would be able to spar a bit with this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna obviously where I stand, but I do got to make this point real quick. This is schlocky to you. I don't find this schlocky. I think they tried to generally make a good movie, and it just had like the wrong ingredients. It's funny because I could see where you think it's schlocky. Not that you have your own opinion. You actually think it's schlocky. That's fine. I take that as like the director doesn't know what he's doing. And also it's funny because this is the era that you love, schlock. And it's the kind of era it is the exact era where like, I don't find anything schlocky in 2001 to 4. I think they fucking generally tried and I hate it.
That's why it's schlocky, because they're genuinely trying and like not hitting it.
No, but see, this is my fault for the 2000s. Back in the 90s and the 80s, I felt there was more ego, more control from the director and the writer. So like when you did fuck up, it just was more glorious. I felt like a good roller coaster. The drop has to be epic. Whereas like something like this, there's not a big drop. This is like Santa's Village drop. Where like for me, the schlock in the 80s and 90s was more, Cedar Point, maybe even Great America. Like I don't get the butterfly feeling from this as much. Though I guess this watch is funny. I think I mentioned this in the last Valentine's Day. If I didn't, then I'm going to repeat it. Is that this movie? I have this weird Mandela effect where I always think it's what's his face? It's not Totoro. Totoro's the bad guy. I always think it's Harry Dean Stanton. Every single time I think in my head, I think it's Stanton, and it's not.
Dude, I wish.
I keep thinking because it's you could see with him in that hat, but dude, Totoro is fucking bad in this, man. It is bad. I really think a Southern accent something that unless you're from the South, dude, like we should just change the character because I'm sure you're laughing at it, but I kept fucking getting like upset. It's like now you bet if I'm going to go down to the road, I'm going to see you there. And it's like, that sounds like me doing the accent. Come on, Toro, you're an actor, man. Just fucking be from New Jersey. I don't know.
I love it.
And then Depp does it at the end, and Depp's like even worse. He's like, I guess I'm a farmer from Mississippi. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, no.
But that's why it's so great with the schlockiness, because they think they're doing something. When Depp does that kind of thing, he's like, it's almost, you can almost see in his mind, he's like, this is gonna get me the Oscar. Like it's that kind of feeling of like they just don't even understand what they're in right now, and it's glorious because again, David Koepp is not someone that I would trust to do anything. I mean, one of his last movies was another Johnny Depp vehicle called, I'm not sure if you ever saw it, but Mordecai. Do you remember the mess around that movie?
Wait, was that the give me something. I feel like I can see a picture in my head. I have not seen it because
he's like a weird mustachioed Mr. Bean type, like investigator.
Yeah. Oh, from the Kevin Smith films. Oh no, I'm thinking something else because he was in the cop in Tusk.
Yeah, he does show up in that, but no, this is different, a whole different thing. And this was like a mess where this was something where he like wasn't showing up on set, and they had all these issues. So, dude,
pirates killed him. Pirates killed this man.
Yeah,
like he got too much power. He was always crazy, but I feel like if this movie was made in 1994, it would have been better.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I need 94 Depp.
Depp's the kind of guy that he needed to have, like, he needed to be struggling to keep himself, like, I don't know, normal. But I mean, I will just say we sacrificed Johnny Depp to get Lily Rose Depp. That's what I'll say. We made that. There was some kind of pagan sacrifice, and I'm gonna say it was worth it because I am absolutely blown away by Lily Rose Depp. Nosferatu.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, she I will admit, I thought she was amazing. She does that, especially for, you know, I hate to say Nepo baby because I also think that it doesn't really matter. Like everybody, I'm fine for Cook County. Everything's about a fucking handshake and a back rub here, but she's good though. That's the thing. She's surprisingly very good. So you know what? Things are genetic. God bless. I'm down. I'm okay. And he gave me the best portrayal of Hunter S. Thompson. He beat up Bill Murray. So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, like, yeah, Johnny Depp, we could feed him to the fucking volcano. I got what I needed. I'm okay. Yeah.
I'm curious. This is a little bit of a side tangent, but do you think that Anya Taylor-Joy is a little like sour about the fact that she had to drop out of Nosferatu?
Yes, because where people are blowing Lily Rose Depp. I mean, she's getting all the attention. So yeah, it's one of those like, you missed out on what's essentially going to make her career. Like she'll be the new, you know, how we had Zendaya for a while, we had Jenna Ortega. We're going to be in the era, or at least the little time frame of Lily Rose Depp, I think in the next 3 years. Yeah. It will be her time.
Anya already has had that moment with Furiosa, so, and like other stuff too. So I'm not feeling quite as, it's not like she missed out. But yeah,
but you know how it goes, dude. Actors actors live on waves. Yeah. So it's like she peaked. Now she's at her little, she's at the shallow end and she's doing fine. Yeah. But it's like, you know, you're never on in the spotlight forever. So this would have brought her back up. And it's, you know, so it's like, yeah, I could see her being a little upset, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe like in her mansion, counting her millions. I don't know how upset you can be, you know. Yeah. It's hard for me to say as somebody who like, can't pay his, medical bills because of my blood pressure. So it's like, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
I say that all. You saw that I talked to her and I like mentioned Nosferatu because I just thought it was going to be a fun moment to end the interview of like, I loved it. And yeah, but I felt like there was a weird vibe with her of like, I haven't seen it, but then she had to like mention immediately of how close she is with Robert and his family. She like immediately redirected to like Eggers as a person.
Yep, so the film.
Yeah, where then I'm glad because those that don't know, Lance edits my interviews. So I was wondering if you had like picked up on that or if I was just crazy because I'm like, oh, she might be a little salty about Nosferatu.
I mean, I didn't say saltiness, but I also think she's a professional actress. So if I did, that means she's not good at her job. But she absolutely pulled the political, like, okay, what about this stance? She said, now but we're going to go over here and talk about this. She pulled the old, I'm going to talk about this over here and sort of, it's like, it's in the same ballpark, but yeah, you're misdirecting, which is fine. I mean, because essentially it's like, hey, that movie's doing really well and that actress is getting like accolades. You fucked up, huh? Yeah. What was she doing during that time though?
I think it was COVID fucked it up. Because I think everything got moved around, and think it was Furiosa. She was going to be done doing Furiosa by the time they started filming. There was a whole different cast for Nosferatu before.
Harry Styles was gonna play.
Harry Styles.
Right?
Yeah, Harry Styles was. Yeah, he was.
That's another one where it's like, thank God he because is it Holtz? I'm so bad at names nowadays.
Yeah, Nicholas Holtz.
Holtz, yeah. He was fantastic, and I know Styles at his best can't hold a candle to that guy.
Nicholas Holtz. No, Nicholas Holt. Holt. Nicholas Holt. Yeah.
I say Reeves a lot for Christopher, so it's like I'm just gonna add a Z.
Same.
But
I did that. I did the DC Revisited, so I can only imagine the number of times I did it where people were like, "Hey, it's Reeve, not Reeves." Like, fuck off.
I actually said Anna Taylor-Swift for a long time because Anya is such a fucking weird name.
It is Anya.
No, but I think I've said Anna before. I take out the Y's. Whatever. It is what it is. I mean, Furiosa bombed. We all loved it, but it did bomb. So it's one of those things where it's like, I do think it kind of set her back a little, but she'll be fine, dude. She'll be fine. She's pretty, she's blonde.
I'm not worried about Anya Taylor-Joy's career prospects. It's not a concern of mine. I will just say.
It's like you cold bastard.
Oh, and I did find out it was the Stephen King book 4 Past Midnight that this was in, along with The Langoliers, The Library Policeman, and The Sundog. So we can expect those latter two sometime in the next 10 years. Can't wait for The Library Policeman.
But we need a better Langoliers, because I've always thought that's a cool concept and it's interesting. It's weird. I'd like a remake of that, but
there one in production?
There was one from the 90s.
No.
I don't know.
I could have sworn.
Until I see a trailer, I don't believe anything, because it's like, how much shit gets like, we know how this industry works. Everybody's doing it until it's not done. I hope so. I think I own the book, actually. I think I might own that, because that was like I said, I think it came after different seasons.
I'd say if you own the book, then you own Secret Windows, Secret Garden. Because it's 4 Past Midnight. I
don't think, like I said, doing a little research, it seems it's pretty accurate to the movie.
Now I remember. So Mr. Rob Savage, the director of The Boogeyman, he has stated in interviews that that's his dream project to remake is Langoliers. Which apparently he even told the King cast. So I think, he says, I can't say too much. The rights are all tied up. It's one of the ones I mentioned to King that I really wanted to do. After he saw The Boogeyman, he emailed me saying we should work together on something, and immediately said, I really want to adapt the Langoliers. But he said he thinks the rights are all tied up and they're trying to untie them. That was
King's not getting any younger.
Almost 2 years ago. So hopefully we see it. They just rescinded the Dollar Babies program.
Around my whole life. I remember in high school, my film teacher, so we had film class in my high school, taught us about that. So if you guys ever want to do something, it's just $1. And that's so cool.
It's incredible. That's one of the coolest things that he's offered. And I'd be curious the reasons as to why he quit. Probably maybe just easy. It's too easy to make a movie these days. So
probably. And I also think, again, I'm going to be the dark guy here. I do see, because I think he was wrapping up some radio station. I think it might have been bought up by somebody else in the town, but he had a radio station that was going on forever. I have a friend that lives like 45 minutes outside of like King's hometown.
Oh.
I have a sneaking suspicion King is tying up loose ends because he is getting up there in age and probably needs to sort of have a smooth.
We're just paranoid because Lynch passed away and Carpenter's old.
Men don't live like through the 70s, man. They don't. Like, yeah, once in a while you do, but I feel like the 70s is where we all go. And he's in his 70s, so like we should be paranoid. Yeah. And I feel when older guys start like kind of chilling out, it's like, yeah, he has a lot of rights, a lot of things out there. I bet he's kind of, he does less. He doesn't really do much interviews, doesn't do a lot of like tons of book signings anymore. And when I was a kid, it was always sold out, but he'd be on Michigan Avenue doing book signings at like Borders and shit. So I don't know, man. I am paranoid.
Yeah.
I think we're losing Carpenter this year, and that scares me.
Well, bringing it back to King and something a a little more positive. I just recently read about how King's wife because she's his editor, and he will do complete rewrites just based on if she doesn't like something of his.
I respect that, actually.
Isn't fucking insane. I was like, but also I think too, the fact that he has someone that, like, his wife is willing to read his whatever
giant books.
Yeah, giant book, give feedback, and like I don't know, it's very, very sweet, and that's a very precious relationship, because I think any kind of partnership like that where you can rely on someone, that's big. It's big to be able to that you can trust their words. It's the same thing. Once you get to a point where someone can give you healthy criticism and it not be, I don't know, not sting, not be that thing, or because it's like, they're coming from a good place. It's like that's when you've made it in life, because I think that kind of human connection is more rare than we give credit for.
And let's give King credit, because King is the most prolific writer probably of, I don't know, the 20th, 21st century. I don't know which one I'm thinking of, but I mean, he is in our lifetime the biggest writer. 100%. That's not even close. He will die being one of the biggest writers of all time. And the fact that you could be that big, be this successful for a chunk of our life, even now, is still adapting all of his stuff, to not let that ego creep in to where you would just, you and me would normally be like, no. I'm right. I got this. I know what I'm doing. The fact that he could take criticism is impressive. And I know Tabitha is a writer. So it's like, she knows her stuff, but I respect the fact that he trusts her, and also that, he's smart enough to know, like, if she's read so many things of his, then she actually knows him more than he knows himself. Because when you're in the process, you're a writer, you do stuff, you're kind of just in the vibe, you're vibing, you're doing it, you're just kind of moving. There's details and things that you aren't seeing because you can't. Because if you stop and check every word and try to look back and make sure I'm connecting it, like, then you're not going to do it right. You're just going to be stumbling. Yep. So she knows him better than him, and he's able to take his ego out. I think that's really cool. He's always come off as a decent human being to me. I've read a lot of his stuff. Seems to have a sense of humor. He's an old cranky guy from Maine. So yeah, I respect that. And I wish more people could take criticism, because I think that's probably the hardest thing to do, because it's personal. It is personal, but take your ego out of it, because that's life in the big city.
Yeah, that's there's Stephen King he's still putting out content that gets made into films, and there's still good stuff. Well, I think the last book of his that I read was The Outsider. It's fucking awesome. Like, it's incredible. And I didn't watch the show. I will eventually, but it's just because I know how dark the book is. I'm like, I don't want to put myself through that. It's fucking.
The show's awesome. I never read the book though, so that makes me happy.
Oh, so you did see it. So then we have both sides of the coin. I'm glad to hear that the show lives up. I mean, I had heard that, but sometimes you hear that and it's like,
sure, but remember though, you read the book though, so there's an amount of details that I'll never get that you're gonna have to lose. So that's I always think, see the movie first, read the book, because then you gain details. Whereas if you read the book and see the visual art of it, you're always losing something. That's why it's like I refuse to. If I want to see something, which is why, coincidentally, I've never read Shawshank. It's one of my favorite movies, the most important thing in terms of my like film history in my childhood. I'll never read that book, because it's like I don't want to. I don't need more. As weird as that sounds, because it's like I don't want to taint, change, or fuck with what I already love. But normally I would, because I gain. Jurassic Park. You want to read that book? It's dark, mean, vicious. It's like
very different.
Exactly. So I feel like it's easier to go that way and love both. When if you read the book and see the movie or the TV show, you could argue against me, but I think we'd agree 9 times out of 10 you're going to be disappointed.
The only thing I'll argue against you is that Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption is so fucking good. It's one of those things where you see it come to life before you were, because of the film, and it's almost 1-to-1, like how much it's all just, it's one of those things where it just makes you appreciate the script and the film even more. 'Cause you're like, holy fuck, they did it. Like they put this on the screen. That's incredible. And it's not long. It's very, very short. You could read it in an evening.
It's a short story, right?
Yeah, but it adds enough. So I disagree with you in that it's similar to how I view the Andy Muschietti It movies. I think the reason I enjoy those is that you can watch those in line with the book, and there's not stuff that's like counteracting stuff that's going on in the book, where then the book you feel like you're getting more information, where it's you watch the show and you're like, or watch the movie and you're like, oh, they skipped over this part, but I know it happened because, or you know what I mean, because of you just have more context to it, which then I think that's the case with most of it. I would say that's why I like when King stuff is made into a miniseries versus a movie, because they usually are able to follow the book more closely to the point where it just feels like a companion piece. Like as in the book feels like a companion piece to the TV show, where then it doesn't change too much. It just is adding extra. You're getting extra context. You're getting like extra character thought, extra like little thing, something that, oh, you might notice in the show, where then it's like, oh, we get this whole scene of context in the book. So.
I actually think King should only be adapted into prime time, or at least prime TV miniseries, because I completely agree. I think I didn't like it. I liked the first one. I fucking hated the second. But I think it, based on what I know, especially as I'm a Dark Tower fan, needs to be a miniseries, because you need to get into Kai, you need to get into Turtle, you need to get fucking Strange, which I would love to have, because it'd be so stupid and weird. But Flanagan is the guy who should just do all of it. You know, He understands the heart. He knows what to keep. Everything should be. I mean, except for, did you see the new Stand? I mean, I know we're technically on King. Did you see that fucking abomination?
I gave up.
That was the biggest.
Gave up after 3 episodes.
But think of that. The Stand on, I think was it Prime, or it was an R-rated. Okay, but a classy, not like, it's not on Hulu, which I guess even nowadays wouldn't be that bad. But regardless, it was on something respectable. Mm-hmm. It was R-rated. It had the source material, and it still fucked it up. So even that, it shows you, it's like, you never know, man. You never know. But I agree. I think a miniseries is the safest bet. I think King is just, he's a detail-oriented writer, and movies, outside of maybe 5 or 6 that we could talk about. I mean, I guess what we're going to talk about during this whole extravaganza, there is more bad than good.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason that we're doing this how we're doing. We're not doing it like we did the Carpenter Extravaganza. Let's be real. Carpenter might be the only director that we legit cover all of his feature length. Because for most other, because I was thinking about it, it's like even when we do our Fincher Extravaganza eventually, there's certain films that we're not going to cover. We're not going to cover Mank. Like, we're just not. There's no real reason to. And I feel like there's something else too from his where I'm like, yeah, wouldn't really make much sense to cover it.
Benjamin Button?
No, Benjamin Button is fucking incredible.
Is it? I never saw it.
Oh, dude!
I've heard a lot of bad stuff. I don't know. My sister talked me off the ledge. She pulled me aside, set me down. She's like, "You can't go see it." It's like, okay.
Oh my god! If you dislike that, but your sister saying that, because it's like your sister knows you, so I fuck.
But you never. She didn't say because she think I hate it. She just hated it so much. She convinced me I have to see it. That's all. Blame her, man.
Dude, it's so soulful, but so dark and so. Oh, I love that movie. That's the kind of movie. I'm gonna watch it in the next few weeks. It's always my winter watch.
You know what? I'm really hoping I'm right here. I'm hoping I'm not mixing stuff up. I'm getting a little nervous now. I might have to text her and be like, hey, real quick, you hate this movie, right? Because what if somebody else told me this? And I mix my memories up and then blame my sister for the last 15 years of my life.
She's going to be like, don't put it out there that I hate Benjamin Button.
I'm just getting I'm a little nervous right now because part of me is like, I don't have my memory right now seems a little fluttery. And I've been saying it for so long that I just believe it. But for some reason, I'm like, I should probably just double check. I feel confident, But I think I'm going to double check. So let's put a pin in this, and we'll return in a bit.
Good call. And the other thing I was thinking, because it's his TV show stuff, because it's like obviously we wouldn't be covering like House of Cards and Mindhunter and Love, Death,
we didn't
and
cover
Robots.
Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But no, otherwise it's like there's...
No, Carpenter, I thought we agreed because there's a lot of like blind spots for us. And
yes.
We just love the guy so much. It was one of those like, it was an adventure, and especially because a lot of stuff is older, so it's interesting because that's different time periods. Like, if I didn't see something from 2005, it's like, well, whatever, man. So no. I think Carpenter was the true extravaganza. I can't speak. And we're doing like the diet Pepsis of extravaganzas now.
Yeah.
And I'm a Pepsi guy for a Coke, so just,
Well, there was what looks to be 43 King films from the list, because I went through King's IMDb, and the 40, it looks like 46, no 43 that I have. I know that I skipped some stuff that I was like, yeah, there's no way we'll cover that. So that's even with the little caveat of no, we won't do that. So yeah, that would be an entire year. We would have a Stephen King year, which would be miserable. We're not the King cast.
No, I would. We get hit with some sort of copy lawsuit. No, we're just digging on. I think you picked a good way to do this. Schlocky, underrated, soulful, or it's like high class. And it's fine. I mean, 2004 is your schlock, so I mean, this is your era, man.
I love it.
You love this era. You love it. Yeah.
It's amazing. That's because it's them thinking they're doing something, but not realizing. Because again, it's them doing the studio bullshit. It's them. We're doing Stephen King. This is gonna be such a success. We got Johnny Depp just did Jack Sparrow. This is gonna be the big. We have the writer of Jurassic Park. He's directing this. The director of Stir of Echoes. He's doing it.
And what was the other one? I saw it in theaters when it first came out. The one with Elizabeth Shue and what's his name? The one where all the electricity goes out. Well, regardless. So this guy's done thrillers before, and I like Stir of Echoes. So I don't think David Koepp. You keep saying Koepp. Is it Koepp or Koepp?
It's Koepp. David Koepp.
Okay. Well,
I learned it in the last probably 5 years. I think it's because I narrate something that then I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Koepp seems weird.
Yeah, I feel that first vowel's really throwing me for a loop here. But he does have the talents, and this is just that fucking early 2000s thriller.
The trigger effect. I didn't even know what you were talking about. I had to look it up. Kyle MacLachlan's in it.
Oh, is it MacLachlan? Oh my God, yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan, Dermot Mulroney, Elizabeth Shue. I mean, I'm interested, but based on that, but I'm not interested because it's directed by David Koepp.
I'll be honest, like it's a good looking movie if I remember correctly, but it definitely doesn't go far enough. I remember being very disappointed walking into the theater, so I haven't revisited in probably, I don't know, was that 20, 30, 28 years, whatever this is?
That's my personal lineup. I'm always looking for movies to watch, so I'm down.
So tell me though. So let's get back to Secret Window. Like, not about we can talk about the movie, of course, but what about the 2000, let's say 2004 or 5? Like, what is it about it? Because this is we always fight on this because this is like what you love the most.
I just was saying. I just said.
But everything you're saying that this is the studio era of them fucking up. You like it because it's the most polished.
They think it's polished, but it's schlock. They're making something that they think is hot. Like it's like Spider-Man 2 came out this year, and there's such schlock in that. I enjoy it, but I watched it the other night. There's a bunch of New Yorkers standing up to Doc Ock. Like there's this big stand up. Like there's dumb stuff that then in the context of the era, because everything was doing it, you're like, yeah, this is just movies. And then once you're removed and then you look at it and you're like, what the fuck is this? Let me fight you just a bit because I don't disagree with you on Spider-Man 2, though I think I like more than you. I'm going to say this though. I feel like Raimi was far more influenced by the 60s Spider-Man, and he brought that into 2000s, and it had that sort of like aw shucks charm.
So I think it makes more sense in that, though I wish he was more influenced by 90s, but that's just because I was a 90s kid.
I think X2, the same thing applies, and that's Bryan Singer the year before. Yeah.
X2 had that schlocky. No,
dude,
really?
Iceman and Pyro, like they freeze a bunch of teenagers that they're beefing with in a food court, and then the professor freezes them all. You know what I mean? Like there's just a bunch of dumb moments.
Okay. You know, I'll give you X2, I guess. I haven't seen it in a long time. I do think Spider-Man was influenced by the 60s.
Which then it leads in, but then I'm just saying, because then it's like a trend where it's like X-Men The Last Stand. That's when it's fully embracing and going insane.
That was the Spider-Man 3, the X-Men. I trust me, I still remember the feeling of walking out and being like, oh no. No.
But no, like, so no, I want to turn this back around on you. You don't like the vibe of this cabin? I love this cabin. It's like there's books and it looks amazing. What don't you like about it?
It looks like a set. It looks like a set.
I have literally been in a cabin that looks almost identical to this.
I have not. That's that. No.
Maybe that's our disconnect.
Yeah, it just seems like
looks very similar to a buddy's cabin. So
you're from Michigan, so you're in cabin country, buddy.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. But from my more,
your city boy,
South suburbs guy, it's like I don't know. It just seems it's like too well lit. It's too big. It's like fancy, but it's I don't know. I mean, I have nothing against the cabin. I guess I'm just being picky on the cabin. Johnny Depp sucks at this, and he's fucking weird.
I want his bathrobe.
I fucking hate the bathrobe. There's like holes.
Yeah, exactly. There's some personality to it. You know how much I hunted down for a bathrobe like this? Couldn't find shit. They're all just like generic. It's like, no, I want a bathrobe like this. Looks lived in.
Okay, but here's my argument. As somebody who knows about cosmetics and beauty, the hair probably cost him $300. So his hair doesn't line up with the bathrobe. So I'm very distracted by his golden, gorgeous, dyed locks. But the bathrobe, it's
no.
He's not getting those locks in that hometown. I'm sorry. He's going to a big city for those locks. Ain't happening.
No. You're talking in the context of John Christopher Depp II. This is not him that we are discussing in this. This man, this
writer.
What the fuck is his name? His name is
it's a really stupid name,
Mort Rainey. Rainey. That's just his natural hair. This is natural. That's just how it grows. That's just natural.
That's what bothers me. Depp didn't change his hair for the role because he showed up as like, hey guys, I'm on top. I'll put on a fucking holy bathrobe, but nothing else.
I think he did change his. I think they did do something. I don't think he had this hair in anything else but this. This is this is specifically for this movie.
I bet he kept this hair for fucking years. I bet so, dude. Close to his hair. Yeah, he didn't die for this movie. It makes no sense. He's in some cabin.
We just talked about the movies that he did around this. He does not have this hairstyle in any of them.
Well, I'm looking it up, man.
Blow.
Okay, what do we got?
Like Blow would be the closest, and that's even longer.
Once Upon a Time Mexico isn't too far from this.
Not the same hair.
It's not too far. Not too far. I'm going to pull it up. I think it's the same cut.
It's the same cut. It's not the same color. We're talking about color. I had hair that was that long. I cut it myself.
He got. I bet. Dude, he kept it. Then that means he got like a fancy ass haircut to play a writer who lives in a cabin.
Maybe David Koepp wanted it.
Oh well, okay, fair enough. But that also means that our director doesn't know what he's doing. The bathroom doesn't have the hair. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not letting that go. He should have dirtier hair and a bigger beard. He's way too pretty right here. It just looks like pretty Johnny Depp. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, dude, you're literally explaining why I love this era, because it's the wake up in full makeup. It's I'm perfectly disheveled. It's the actor refuses to not look sexy. I love it. This is prior, because we have our Daniel Day-Lewis's, but no, for the most part, these people are wanting to look at their absolute best. That's why I always like an actor that is willing to uglify or just, put themselves down because it shows that they have good sense of themselves.
That's just acting. John Depp had an ego, and I didn't know it at the time, but yeah, this was the proverbial canary in the coal mine. I mean, even Maria Bello feel like she just shows up, and dude, I'm not even into blondes, and I had a crush on her forever. I mean, come on, man. The Staircase and History of Violence.
I like Maria Bello because of Secret Window.
Not History of Violence?
Oddly,
I guess that came after, right? Yeah,
it did come after, but oddly enough, I've only ever seen History of Violence the one time, and it wasn't a big impact on me. So
everything that is schlocky in a weird way.
But every now and then a movie like that comes along where it's like it doesn't connect with me, but I'm not like it's not like I dislike it. So then I'm like, I put that. I'll rewatch it eventually.
And I've always liked her. Actually, it's funny. I'm saying that it's. Let me rephrase this real quick. I think that she gets partly naked in History of Violence, so that's what I remember the most. But
yes, she does.
But her actual role for me personally would probably be Payback, because she's the hooker to Carter's.
She is. Yeah.
I'll stop killing if she stops hooking.
That would be a fun one. Oh, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has potential for. I mean,
I'm going to spoil this right now. That's one of my favorite movies. I saw it like 5 times in theaters. I think it's cool. I don't know. It's like my kind of humor.
There's because the 2 different cuts that change so much.
Yeah. And it's the first time that the studio, aka Gibson, was right. Because have you seen the original cut?
I think I've only seen one of the cuts.
Did you see what was it, blue or was it not blue? I could tell you which one that is.
I could not tell you because when I saw it was probably around the time Secret Window came out. Like, I haven't rewatched Payback, and Payback is one of those,
dude.
It's one of those movies I definitely watched with my mom, like when it came out on VHS, and so I would have been like 9 or 10, so I was way young, so it really stood out to me. I'm sure I would see it now, and I'd be like, oh, it's so much tamer than I remember.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, what's his face?
In my 9 or 10-year-old mind, I thought it was the most. I thought it was 8mm, which is 8mm bad. I don't now.
Well, I'm like, so it's funny when I saw that as a younger. I remember that being super dark because he goes into like the world of snuff. Yeah, but I never watched it since because like I almost don't want to ruin that memory of it being super grimy and dark. But Payback is funny. I don't know. I quote that all the time with my friend Jeff.
Yeah, we literally have a Payback quote in our needlessly nostalgic fun little intro.
One of my oldest sugar gliders, his name was Val Resnick. It's like, you see me reaching for my fucking wallet? I love it, man. I don't know. I think it's funny.
Yeah. See me reaching for my fucking wallet? I think that's actually the line that got that. Got flagged for something. I was like, God damn it. It was the fucking Payback line. Son of a bitch.
I don't know who that actor is. I should know his name, but every time I ever see him, I'm like, yeah, Val Resnick, keep working, buddy. I love
Greg Henry.
I love myself, Greg Henry.
He's like off-brand James Caan.
Yeah, I could see that. Never reach the heights, but like you need that sort of Italian angry guy.
Just looks like him. That's all I'm going for there. He looks like James Caan. I didn't mean it as an insult.
No. And I feel like I say the hard A. I've always been corrected because it's Caan, but I always say James Caan.
James Caan.
The Cannes Film Festival. The Cannes Film Festival. Caan.
It could just be like. I think you're
right. I think it is Caan.
Scorsese and.
Buscemi?
Buscemi, yeah, that was one because I was trying to say Pesci, but I'm like, it's not Pesci that we had talked. It was Buscemi. Yeah.
Did they ever tell you that it's not our fault because trailers used to talk and they would say the names of people and it'd be Steve Buscemi, it'd be Martin Scorsese or Scorsese. So it's like, that's not my fault that I'm fucking up your name. You've been saying trailers forever. So you know what? Like, no, you don't get to redo it now. You're stuck. It's Buscemi and Scorsese.
Now it sucks because I have to like talk to people and say their names, and I'm like, but thankfully the internet's a pretty good source. But regardless, it's like I talked to this girl. You did the interview. You did the edit. Sari. Sari. I literally asked her how to pronounce it, and then I'm pretty sure I fucked it up like immediately after, where it's just like, yeah, some words just like don't come across in your brain well. And sorry. Yeah, I couldn't.
Look who you're talking to, Daddy. Yeah. I can't do. I mean, fucking. I'll study a name for like 20 minutes and then record it, and it'll be slightly off, and people in the comments will be like, "Actually," I'm like, "God damn it, dude! I tried."
Oh my God.
I put more effort.
I did a video on Old Boy once, and it was very difficult. I had to spell out things phonetically from watching the Japanese behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, that's why I don't usually cover any foreign movies, because I'm like, I can't. I'll just be eaten alive.
Oh,
I'll never see this world again.
Oh, it about killed me. That video took so much work and effort with both the research and the narration part, and then it bombed. So I'm like, I'm never covering a fucking foreign film again.
I'm done.
But yeah, then so I like this. It does have a trope that I fucking hate, which is guess who the writer wrote and who the main character is. It's a writer. Ooh, breaking new ground.
Yeah, especially for King, right? I mean, like, it's like, dude, I know it's right what you know, but I've almost never liked, I shouldn't say, because I do like The Dark Half, but I never, the movies I love the most by him, the main character is almost never a writer, because I find that super boring. Again, I'm not saying being a writer is boring, but to me, it's like, if I'm not I consider myself an editor. I don't think I'm not a professional, like you're going to hire me to make a movie editor, but I edit, I can edit, I do edit, I edit, a few times a month minimum. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't make a movie about an editor, because I just sit here and I click things on my computer. So I just feel like it's just not interesting to watch a writer, and King loves that shit, dude. He loves it. But honestly, name like an amazing King story where the main guy's a writer. I mean, well, fucking probably Secret Window to you, right? That's being a dick. You didn't catch that.
I caught it. I'm trying to think of. I was moving past it and trying to think of your question.
Yeah, sorry. I came back and I gave you.
I know immediately. didn't even have a response.
It's just like, fuck you.
I don't think there's anything that I can. I mean, no, he's not a writer.
Bag of Bones is lame.
I guess we go into specific Stephen King, because I was just trying to think of anything where someone's a writer.
Yeah, I was like, his King, I think, does it a lot, because clearly he's a writer and he finds it interesting. I don't know. I just feel like those are the books where I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't really work for me, but that's just never been a thing that I like. But I do like I like the setup of just this guy, and he's just at this cabin in the woods with this growing his corn, and he's has this weird Southern man showing up and killing his dog, and everyone is like very aggressive towards him. And I don't know, there's something about it that just cracks me up. Like I mention all these things, and I feel like I then shouldn't have to say the schlocky connection to it, because this is why I'm enjoying it.
Oh no, I don't want to make you always have to bring that back up, but it makes sense in the conversation, because I mean, the secret garden, it's just the side of the house. It's not even a secret. It's you could probably see it from the driveway. The secret window, it's like it's a side window. It was just covered up. I don't know. I mean, fair enough. I do. How about this? I'll say something I like. I love the idea of him burying the bodies of Hutton and Bello in under the corn and then eating it. I think that's fun.
Spoilers.
But the problem that I have, but my issue, and I think this is a problem, because we're going to have this on different videos, where I think we've talked about how if you're not liking something, you're more critical of the stuff that you'd every which way let go if you loved it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, 2004, we still had cadaver dogs. So if the cop really was suspicious, they'd just walk over the property just in case. Yep. But regardless, I do like that he's fucking all weird with his braces, super awkward. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whose idea that was, because it's so stupid, but I'm sure you're all about it. But I do like the idea that panning out the window in the garden, and he talks about how like eventually like they'll be all gone, because the proteins are obviously helping the plants grow. So I'll give you that. I'm going to give you that on a silver platter. I think that's a fun idea.
Yeah, nutritious soil. It's making that corn taste amazing. And I don't know. I just like that the concept of him, because once you know the twist, it then just makes everything very silly. You're like, wait, this guy is just complete. It's like the My Bloody Valentine 3D, where it's like, wait, so you're just dissociating constantly, where then you're doing this stuff and you're picturing someone else doing it. Like, what in the world? And I guess he's also blacking out a ton. Like, killing his dog.
They do try to hint at it. Killing his dog in the house.
Dude, once you know it, there's multiple times where it's like they're slapping you over the face with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2004. That couldn't be too discreet. No. And I'm sure you absolutely love the exposition of both the Johnny Depps and their fucking
oh my god
poor looking robe, and he's like, no, you know it. Do you not know? And the camera keeps like panning and twisting, and it's it's like a very complicated scene if you think about it, and like logistics of shooting a film. Like that's like the high budget, 2 Depps, a floating camera that's the mirrors and all this shit. I was like, oh my god. I kept thinking like, fucking Tyler probably loves this. He's probably eating this up. He's all about it.
It was fun. It's just like but I mean, the thing that I love the most is it's the montage of where it's like showing the twist, where it's then going back and
he just has the hat.
Dude, the hat is so funny, and like when he's burning down the house, he just has this like grin on his face, and it's fucking funny. I don't know. Like I don't see how you're not seeing the schlock in this. It's just dumb.
I hate 2000 schlock. I don't like 2000 schlock.
And then like Maria Bello showing up, and you think
I do like that he kills her.
I was gonna say that's where this film, it seems like they're gonna go the route, the studio most wrapped up in a bow route, but then they don't. Yeah. They go ballsy with it, and they make him a town pariah that then the sheriff has to come by and be like, you need to go shop at the other's town. You need to go. We
all know.
Yeah, we know. We're gonna get you eventually. I want to be like, dude, go out and maybe bring some dogs out, and they should be able to smell the bodies decomposing in the cornfield that's right next to the house.
The not so secret garden. Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure you can find it.
Yeah. Hit the fact that Hutton and Maria don't die, or die, I should say. The fact that they should have lived based on just everything in the moment in time when this movie was made. I will give credit for. I mean, I wish, especially because they hint off that he cuts off what's his name's head, right? He's like hit the shove like 4 or 5 times. I think that they make a reference to that, where it's like, I think PG-13 probably doesn't help for this for me either, where I might be able to meet in the middle. There's a lot gorier, a lot more blood, but at the same time, 2004, we weren't. I mean, outside like Saws. Yeah. Saw was like considered like this weird punk black sheep of a movie. We weren't really making mainstream movies that had blood. It's just so strange how much we ebb and flow when it comes to that stuff. Where now it's the substances in theaters, and like that would have never existed in 2004. It just wouldn't have been a mainstream movie. So, I am disappointed this is PG-13, but at the same time, even as an R, I mean, the Ninth Gate was R. That's Depp. I'm pretty sure. That Astronaut one.
From Hell was R. Sleepy Hollow was R.
And those were all very kind of tame R-rated movies. So, maybe it just was not my era.
You think Sleepy Hollow was tame?
Yes.
Really?
I'm going to give you a twist. I didn't like Sleepy Hollow. I thought it was a beautiful looking movie, but that was the first time where I was like, oh, Burton, like.
When's the last time you watched
make a flop? 15 years.
That's one I think I want to revisit with you. I really like Sleepy Hollow. I'm a big fan.
I saw it in theaters, didn't care for it, but I'm not, it's one of those, I do got to always, I'm a fair man. I believe I'm fair. So there's movies where I'm like, no, this sucks, and I'll fight you. That's one that, I liked it, but I haven't seen it since probably the DVD. So the year after it came out, because I saw it in theaters, didn't like it on DVD, but that also would have been like what, 99?
Yeah.
So that's 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, hey,
this fucking hat.
One thing I want to bring up too, this movie always makes me want corn on the cob. Like, I can taste it. That final bit where he's eating, I'm like, oh, I want that corn on the cob so bad.
He puts on the butter, this little salt. Yeah, I'm from Illinois. Come on, look you're talking to. We're corn people.
I mean, but the best.
Aren't you?
The best moment in the film. They do the sweeping camera. It comes down, goes along the corn, and then it drops below. And part of you like, maybe that's just me, but you expect to see skeleton, like you expect to see remains. It's going down to see bodies. Something, and then it's Johnny Depp
with his braces. Yeah,
with his braces.
That's fun. That's kind of fun. That's like so that's sort of subverting expectations. That I won't give a shit because it's, I like the little corn bit because he is doing this sort of Gotham villain thing, like. I got some running to do. It's just all fucking wacky. That's not bad. The braces bother me so much. I don't. That had to be like a Depp idea. I don't know why.
Had to
because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
he just looks so lame.
Yeah, which I'm guarantee he was like, oh yeah, I want to do this. We wanted to. Yeah,
nobody's gonna say anything because he's on top of the world.
Yeah,
he's like, I want braces, and Cope's I want braces. Really? He's like, no, I want braces. It's like, oh, okay. Fuck, poor prop masters, like the 12th hour having to make braces because it was not in the script.
Yeah. Well, what would you rate Secret Window? Oh,
half a star. I hate this. It took me two watches. I stopped in the middle.
Fucking
and I
half
was like,
a star.
I stopped the movie because I got upset. I was like, I can't do this 2000s crap, dude.
I do.
Dude, I was 18 years old. Fucking prime my life, I was in great shape, fucking strong, horny, wanted dark, cool movies, and I got Johnny Depp being dorky. This guy was Raoul Duke. He was Mr. Hunter S. Thompson. It broke my heart.
I do appreciate though that you're still watching the film. It's not that you're like watching 5 minutes and going, fuck this. I remember it. I can talk about it.
No, I didn't actually. There's parts I forgot. Like I said, I thought that. I can't think of her name right now. Marie Bello and Hutton. I thought they lived actually when I started the movie.
Yeah.
So that was a nice surprise. So I forgot that. And I thought again, it was I thought it was Harry Dean Stanton until I was like, oh fuck, it's Totoro.
Yeah. That's funny. That's such a fun fun mistake. But I feel like also that's something that and we should establish on this show. We're always, if we're going to cover a movie, we're going to watch it right before. We're not going to just go up based on memory because.
I can't trust my memory.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I'm right there with you.
I guess you can't. Yeah. But you could look at me.
There's times where I'm like, well, do I really want to go to bat for this? I haven't seen it in like a decade.
It always scares me because sometimes I'm very confident. But once in a while, even if it has nothing to do with the show, but once in a while, I'll be like, hey, babe, let's watch this. It's been a while. It's like, oh, it's great. It's been a while, but I remember being great. And usually it is. I mean, rarely is it bad, but there is that time where it's, I forget what movie it was. I showed her something and it was good, but I sold it as great. And I remember it being great. And it being good kind of broke my heart. I was like, oh, man. I don't remember that. It's kind of iffy and lame and that character kind of sucks. That was weird. So I always have to watch it because I never know. I could have loved this, dude. I would have fucking been sad, but I could have loved it.
It's funny we're having this conversation because that's what Secret Window was for me. I thought this was a good movie and I genuinely enjoyed it. And then I was going to do it for a video and revisited it and was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh God.
No.
So no, I get it. And again, I like the schlocky elements and I would rate this 2.5 stars.
Okay. I thought you rated higher. I was thinking you're going to. I was like, he's going to do
4 stars. No.
I would have had to fight you, but I generally was like, I made peace with 3. I walked into this like he's going to go 3, isn't he?
No, I acknowledge it's a bad movie and the twist is silly, but I still enjoy the twist. I still get a kick out of it. You
like your twists, man. You like your twists. I'm anti-twist.
I don't like my twists. I love my twists. I will like any mediocre bullshit if you give me a twist that's at least halfway thought out. It can't just be like a random ass twist where then it's like, wait, what? Who is this? Because there's some movies that will pull that, especially there's some slashers where it's like, wait, you're trying to do a whodunit, and so it's this character that makes no sense that it's the killer because you're just like, oh, okay.
Right.
But no, I'm big fan of the schlockiness of Secret Window. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to go over?
No, check out, our Instagram. Check us out on Spotify. Where else do we have stuff at?
Check out our
YouTube, maybe Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got stuff.
We have. Yeah. I mean, eventually our YouTube will pop off even more, but we're still getting a backlog of things uploaded to that, so that then we can be consistent when we do legitimately launch. But you can make sure to subscribe to that if you want to. We have one video up. It's just our Friday the 13th episode, and there will be plenty more coming. And make sure to feel like there's something else that, check out our Patreon. We have 2 exclusive episodes a month that go up there. And then you also get access to all of the episodes 1 week early, which is quite the fun perk. So you want to check that. And that's what, $5 and $10 are our 2 tiers. So very, very cheap. You can subscribe for a month and then drop it. It's very, very flexible. And we have commentaries up there for Friday the 13th 3D, Tremors, Scream 5, Black Christmas 2019, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, and Army of Darkness. And then we have monthly roundups where we essentially have these little mini reviews where we go over a variety of films like Abigail, Longlegs, The Substance, Joker 2, Megalopolis, Smile, The Last Showgirl, Wolfman, Real Pain. There's just a bunch of random stuff we always talk about. Nice little mini reviews, and that's exclusively on the Patreon. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, you can make sure to check our David Lynch tribute, which released should have been February 5th. So yeah, we will see you guys next week, and thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.